Well, we are winning the week once again. I'm very happy about it. Hey, fellow traders, it's Black Coffee Trader. Today is Thursday, September the 11th, and we had a pretty good day, a one and done day. Pretty simple. So let's just jump right in. The trade today was on the Russell, as you can see here. So this morning we had a beautiful break and retest. Right here on this prior area of was resistance. Actually, let's just go to the bigger chart here. We'll show you. So that was this area right in here, which was for this week was a bit of a, had some trouble getting through it. We did get through it yesterday, but we broke below it after the morning session, and we failed in the middle of the day and stayed below it all of the overnight. So I was looking at that area as an area for a potential break and retest long. Which is exactly what we got this morning. So that was it. We had obviously had the big news this morning. I think it was CPI this morning, CPI or PPI, I forget right now which one it was, but we had a big news mover, and this market was pretty crazy, and we did get that break and retest opportunity. So let's just zoom in here a little bit. We can take a look at it. Obviously this morning we had the news. We dipped above it before the market opened, and this market shot above that level, pulled back beautifully, and on the push back up, went long, stop loss below this low area of that range. And this was a move that I simply didn't get to add. I took the first profit target off here at a 1R. And this move just continued, and there really was no bigger pullback. And one of the things I learned, or I really feel quite strongly about with the move yesterday, that last trade I took, we had a beautiful first target hit, and then we had a pullback, and I was able to get back in, adding in on a pullback, and it made for a very, very, very high R, a very nice winning trade. And so I felt pretty strongly that I'm going to try to watch for that. I'm not going to just add blindly, because yesterday one of the losing trades I had would have been a break-even trade, but it was like this, and we got to the first profit target, and I immediately added, which I've done successfully a few times, but it reversed and took me out for a pretty good loss. And so, granted, I had more size, but I just kind of elected that I'm going to just try to trade it more this way, where you have your entry, you have your stop loss, you have a 1R first target, and if we don't get a pullback, I'm just going to hold. And that's what I did. And so I held until we got to this next level. In hindsight, we did have a much bigger move later in the day. I could have got more out of that, but the fact that I was not able to add in the trade, I was like, hey, if I can get to this level of resistance, I'm just going to get out of that trade, which is exactly what I did. And I had a beautiful plus 2R trade. So very low risk, very nice reward. And the dollar amount is the dollar amount. It's not a huge dollar, but still $100 per account moves the needle. And we just do that day by day, and we'll get there. And eventually, in some days, we're going to have nice little pullbacks. If this right here on this prior day high, if we would have had a deeper pullback like to this first profit target or somewhere in there, and then push out where I could have added there, I would have. We had, as it was, I had a very, very minuscule pullback and immediately just pushed. And it just wasn't comfortable adding that far up into the trade. And so I left it go. And I'm happy with it. I mean, it was a good trade. It was a really good trade. It just, the dollar amount wasn't very big, even though the trade was great. So that's that. And really, I stayed away from the market the rest of the day. I thought about taking this break and retest at the end of the day. I did notice it for most of the day. I really wasn't even looking at the charts, didn't even have the charts open for a while, and just kind of opened the charts to see what the market was doing here at the end of the day. And I thought about taking it, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to. Why wreck a good day? I had a nice first trade, and I just didn't want to. Today was one of those days where one could have had FOMO, and I just elected not to. I knew that the trade I had taken in the morning gave me a win on the week, where I was going to be ahead on the week, and that's really what I was after. And so I just didn't really feel the need to push that, and I would have been able to get out of there. I mean, you could have had a stop, probably would have went below this low here, taken entry somewhere in this area, 1R, we could have got that, maybe got an add in, but we really wouldn't have got much of a move. I mean, I could have got a nice little trade probably, but I don't know. Honestly, after this morning's trade, I was pretty content to just be done, and be as it may. One of the things that I have to just really reflect on this positively. I mean, if I look at, whoops, I'm on the wrong thing here. Here we go. If I look at my my trades and the way that I've been trading now for the last 4 weeks of really reducing the risk, it has been a much better much better opportunity or much better trading. And I just really believe that that lower risk is huge. Going into trades, risking, if you're looking at an Apex account, for example, that's what most of my accounts are. So an Apex account, you've got 2,500 in drawdown. I don't know if let's just draw on this. So you've got 2,500 in drawdown available, and so if I keep my risk to 5% or less, that's $100. So my goal is to enter into trades with no more than $100 of risk. That way I'm not risking more than 5% of that drawdown. And then I'm looking to add into trades. And that has just really allowed me to reduce the downside and to limit my risk and keep this drawdown intact. That has been huge for me. And it's just, I'm not saying that you should trade this way. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying for me, it has been a huge game changer and a huge win. And I've really been able to keep my losses to a minimum for the most part. And I've been able to find days where I've maximized my win. So, and I'm winning the week once again. We're up 981 on the week. And even with the 5 new accounts, $100 per account. So if I don't have the 5 new accounts, today's a $1,400 day. Add $1,400, that's $500 less here. We're still winning the week. So I'm still ahead of the game. We've had a really, really good run. So here's today. Today's not that big of a deal, one trade. Let's look at this week. I got to go here. This week, maybe for some reason we got a problem. Well, maybe we won't look at this week. There we go. Okay. Yep, 980. So up 980 on the week. Only a 30% win rate, and that is something that with this lower risk, I'm cutting my losses quickly. I'm not going to hang around in a trade and hope it goes in my favor. And I'm also not DCAing. I will not DCA into a position, because basically what that is doing is it is maximizing my risk and I'm adding to a losing trade, and I do not want to do that. I would rather get out with a loss, find a better entry. And this is proof that even with a 30% win rate, my average win is 2.6 times my average loss this week. So this week's average win is 123, the average loss is only 46. So I can absorb some losses and I protect my capital. That's the thing that I'm trying to do, because if I can build these accounts up and get them into a higher dollar amount, now we can really protect capital and we can start to add, we can start to increase our position size while keeping our risk minimal. So that's huge for me. Since I've been on this idea of trading with a lower risk, let's go back to August 18th. Through today, that's when we've started. That's since I've been doing this lower risk. And on that time period, we've made about 5,000, 36.5% win rate, and 2.2 on the average win to loss. So my average win during that time frame is 92. The average loss is 41. So that is a winning proposition, is a winning system. And that's what I've been really, really, really trying to work on quite a bit. I've really been working on that, and it's starting to pay off. So yes, we're not at payouts yet, but we are holding on to our drawdown, and we are slowly but surely working on building these accounts up. And really, I just need to keep that mentality going, and then build upon as we increase our size on our accounts, or our drawdown, so to speak. Then we can start to increase our risk and take the same trades. So anyway, sorry about the little rant, but it's winning. I'm winning with the strategy, and it's working, and I felt the need to talk about that. So, but anyway, there we have it. That's a wrap for today. This market, again, let's take a look at ES. ES is kind of the driver, in my opinion, and we have rocketed up to new all-time highs on ES, all the way up here at the 6,600s on ES, basically. So quite a move today, and again, I've just, we are in an absolute bullish trend on this market. I mean, this market just does this stair step up, and that is really what we've been seeing. So we'll ride the wave as long as we can. We'll keep trading, and I mean, tomorrow's Friday. I want to go into tomorrow on a positive note. I'm not going to be too rushed to take trades. I mean, this week I am actually up on each individual account. I am up anywhere from $10 to $100. So it's not a huge win on the week, but we're positive on each account, and that's really what I'm after. So I'm going to try to be very careful tomorrow. If I can find a good trade, great, I'll take it. If not, if I don't get a trade tomorrow, that's fine. We've won another week, and that is super, super important, like we were just looking at. So 2 straight weeks of winning weeks, and that's awesome. And then hopefully we can round out the month of September on a positive note here. And hopefully by the end of September, we've at least got these accounts in a good position as far as getting towards payout. We may not be at payout yet, but that's fine. Just continue to push those along. So, all right, I will leave you with that. Last but not least, don't forget that we do have the Apex sale going on. It is going on through the 24th of this month. So don't forget about that, 80% off. By the way, I do need to update my trading expenses. I did incur quite a bit more in expenses on getting all these funded accounts. I need to update that. Take Profit Trader, that deal is still going on, 40% off and no activation fees. So again, just thanks for using code BCT with Apex, Take Profit Trader, QuantGuard, Affordable Indicators, TradeZella. But anyway, I just appreciate you guys supporting the channel. It helps me out a little bit, and I certainly do appreciate it. Thanks for following along. Hope you guys had a green week, green couple of days, and keep your head on straight, keep trading well. That's the game plan. So thanks again. We'll take care. Until next time, so long.